Mexico for the Mexicans. It was quite a long time ago, and what was happening is I guess Americans or congressmen, basically, some people, like I said, I guess you could say Truman or someone, but basically people were going down to Mexico and they were having like security guards and they were buying up. Like I said, technically I bought up all of Mexico a long time ago, before there was cities and everything else there. So I owned Mexico and I paid the Irish people to go there, the Ironish or Irish people to go there, and basically set up the water system and stuff like that. Also do mining in the area. Technically, it was just a bet I had with somebody else, with some aristocrats or somebody, basically that there was that there were resources in Mexico, and I would prove them wrong. All I needed was one of my teams to go to Mexico, and I'm sure I'd find oil, iron, and just about everything I needed to basically build a civilization if I wanted to. That there were resources, because people were saying, blah 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 blah, resources are blah blah blah, and either you have it or you don't. And I was willing to bet that I could find resources and build a civilization almost anywhere, even in Mexico or in Israel. As you know, usually, if you just dig around enough, you're going to find basically what you need, iron ore or whatever. It's not really true that you can only find iron ore in Mexico, or only find iron ore in the Middle East, or only find anything somewhere. I mean, there's always something of value everywhere on this planet. So all you got to do is dig deep enough and look around enough. I mean, there is resources just about everywhere. So anyway, and I think we even found oil in Mexico, basically. But so I bought up the land or something in Mexico because everyone's was saying that there's nothing in Mexico, and Mexico is basically just this empty, basically nothing that was worthless, pretty much. So I bought Mexico and basically moved my Irish people there, or some people there, basically to start digging around and cultivating. And I think what they might have been referring to is the lack of water in Mexico. But like I said, where's Panama? Panama is up or down from Mexico. Um, anyway though, I thought that it's not really true. You can build a city in the desert if you want. It is possible. There is always water there, or a way to get water just about anywhere. If you really want to, if the people are willing to put in the work, you can build a civilization anywhere, even in the middle of the Sahara, or whatever. So anyway, though, and it wasn't exactly like sand dunes. So I mean, there had to be something firm down there, and anywhere there's something firm, there's usually something more. So and if you realistically look at it, we're all on mountaintops basically with a bunch of water around us, pretty much. So there's lots of stuff down there. It's all been pushed up or all higher than whatever. So anyway, though, so I sent a team of people over there, and they bought up all the land in Mexico, or at least large chunks of Mexico, and then started building. So anyway, though, and after a while, basically, I just did it to prove a point. I just was making a bet, and I bet them like an aircraft company or something like that. I bet them like something substantial that I had, like an aircraft company or something like that I could find resources in Mexico, and that there were resources there. I think I bet one of my smaller aircraft companies or something like that. They were trying to say, "You bet the big one," and I was like, "No, I bet a small little like twin engine or single engine aircraft company that I didn't really need, something that was low of value or medium value, that might seem like a lot of money to most people, but not that much money. It's not like I bet White Star Lines on it or anything or anything like that. I think it was like a small aircraft or something like that. So I sent people there, and I was paying them to go there. Paid them in gold. I paid the Irish people with gold, and they went there. They started mining and started building what's called. And I believe one of the Mexican girls or one of the Mexican peoples informed me of a bad situation that was happening in Mexico, where some people were being chained down to the floor, or at least women were being raped or chained to the floor, or something like that. And I had some group or someone take care of it, basically, to free them, and basically because no one should be chained to the floor and forced to have sex or forced to do anything. I mean, realistically, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't believe in forcing or abuse, actually. I believe, you are reasonable and on it, and reasonable and rational life forms, and you can reason and rationalize things. So, anyway though, so I had gold, so I was paying them in gold, and whatever, and they were mining around in Mexico. And sure enough, they found just about all the resources that they needed. In fact, even a gold mine, I believe, or something like that in Mexico. They found iron ore and oil and basically everything you would need to have a pretty nice little civilization in Mexico. Somewhere, I forget. Anyway, though, and possibly even coal, which is probably, at the time, I think was one of the more important things. Anyway, though, I don't really know. It was a long, long time ago. Anyway, though, I proved my bet that people could live and subsist even in Mexico in an apparent desert, and that it was fine, and that with a little bit of work and a little bit of money and a little bit of effort, you could build a civilization just about anywhere. So I proved my point and got to keep my my what's called, and I think they were actually betting a country or something like that, or betting some land or something. I don't know. So anyway, though. And so the people were like, well, what do you want to do with Mexico? And it's like, I don't really need another country. At the time, it's like, well, I already have 2 or 3 countries. I didn't really need it. So I just explained it that I didn't really need Mexico. I just, I was just buying it. Well, it was an evacuation point at one point in time for Spain, and also like I was just proving a point to some stuck-up pieces of what. I was just proving the point that you can build a civilization, have resources, and you can have a manufacturing plant anywhere. It doesn't really, you don't have to be, because everybody was like, well, you have the nice country. Well, you have the nice stuff. Well, you have all the blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it doesn't really matter. It's amount of effort you put into it. It's amount of money. It's about skill and labor and directing people to go there and do these things. Really, it's not about. I mean, there is no like, oh, I'm so, I have such a huge lead that I'm just like, it's impossible to catch up. It's like, well, I mean, it's just a matter of directing people and getting good skilled people. I had some of the best skilled people, Irishmen and other people, and Germans and all kinds of other people. So I could send a really good team there. And at one point in time, once they found the oil and once they found the resources, I think somebody was trying to take over Mexico or something like that. And I had a ship taken over there to defend it, to defend my workers in my city or something like that. Anyway, and so when I was done with it, I was just proving a bet. And so I turned it over to the Mexicans and the workers that were living in Mexico. It's like, well, I was just proving a bet, so it doesn't, I don't really need it. I mean, so like I said, and at some point in time, a bunch of people were going over there and like trying to turn it into their own like little private kingdom or something like that. And I was like, that's it. No, only Mexicans and only the people that were there, from the beginning that helped build the country, should own land there. And technically, it's my country. I just kind of like gave it over to them because I don't really need it and it's hot and blah, blah, blah. But with air conditioning and some other things, it can be actually rather livable and actually really nice. It's just it's just a matter of the amount of effort you put into it. So anyway, so I just proved my point and basically was, once again, Lucifer Star, epic builder. I was basically always a mining company, and I was just proving a point. And maybe somebody was actually made the bet with me, so I would go build Mexico. I don't really know, because they knew I'd build it pretty nice, And then, like I say, I didn't really need it. I mean, it's like me having Colombia and Cuba. It's like technically I built some stuff in Cuba, and I built some stuff in Colombia, and technically I owned Colombia because I owned Panama, and and I needed a place to put the water, so I owned Colombia and owned Panama, and but I don't really need Colombia or Panama. I then went and bought America or owned America and built America. So I was just building my way along, and doing all these things. And realistically, I like America. It's nice. And like I said, I bought the whole continent basically. From the previous owners or people or whoever would live there. And so I own this continent, I own that continent, and built that one first, then I built this one, and technically I need places to grow food because I had like so many workers and so many people anyway. White Star Lines, you just gotta look at my things, and basically even the Carnegie whatever list. Like all my people always had itemized list. It's German, it's what's called. my employees were all in these great big tomes, these big books. You know, the star line employee lists, every name, every what's called, and also amounts for payroll and stuff like that. Everyone got paid. You know, and I wanted people to write down how many hours, how many whatever, how much pay. I wanted everything legit. So anyway, that's how basically all this kind of came about and everything. I mean, a lot of masters, a lot of creators are like, work, slave, I can made you, I control you, blah, blah. And I wasn't like that. That's not my way. You know, I'm like, I mean, you know, I treat my people better. I'm your actual real creator and your actual real whatever. And so, you know, why wouldn't I treat you good? I love you. I loved you. You know, I mean, I cared about you. I cared about you a great deal. I cared about my exoskeletons. And that's another thing. A lot of people who did know about me before and did know about my existence before knew how I was caring for my exoskeletons. And even my 1.5s. I always care about my life forms. I take care of them and have them do things like limb replacement and, you know, trying to get them to have better existences or better lives, you know. Like I said, exoskeletons don't really have real lives as you say. They live to invent and build more, and they don't really have a social life. They don't really, you know, they didn't really have capacity for it at first. And I was trying to get that improved and stuff. And so we created like a smart exoskeleton or an intelligent exoskeleton that might have the capability of having a greater existence than just work, live, move, build, think, you know, and so I was trying to do that a long trillions, billions of years ago. It's just the way I am. You know, I just, you know, and that's why when I was working with the human race, like I said, I am known throughout the universe, throughout all the galaxies as the civilization creator, builder, and best life form of all. Like I said, in my greater existence, my choices to bomb Hiroshima and Nagasaki are like this big. And like I said, you know, and it's also known about me that I always defend my workers. I always defend my country. You know, I do whatever it takes, whatever has to be done, I do. You know, if that means killing thousands or whatever, then unfortunately, like I said, I tried to warn them. I believe I had the whole thing of dropping pamphlets before a bombing raid. You know, that's in the language that they speak. You know, all that stuff, that's me. Because, you know, like I said, if I truly want to kill someone, like me and my people, we're going to fight our way in there and we're going to kill them. You know, we'll send nuclear bombs or bomber after bomber until that person is dead. And that's the way we are. That's the way we've always been. You know, and some of my people are like, oh, they're going to put up a fight. You know, because it's like, you know, I had warriors. I had people that lived to fight. Like that was, you know, they trained with swords and guns night and day, 24/7 for that one moment when it was time to defend or to attack. That was their existence. They slept with the gun, they lived with the gun, they slept with the sword, they lived with the sword. You know, for that one day and they practiced day and night for that one day, that one time when they'd have to go shik, shik. You know, that was their job or their role in existence. So, just like a police officer. You know, you dream about being a police officer, you go become a police officer. You know, you want to be a good person or whatever person with being a police officer, and then, you know, you practice day and night at the shooting range. You know about the laws, you know about blah blah blah. And basically, a good portion of your existence basically is dedicated to protecting life, protecting civilians, protecting people, protecting them from themselves and from other people. You know, it's the same way with the samurai, same way with all my people. You know, it was just the way I structured everything. You know, I started groups, I had them trained, I had them do. That's how I'm on the basis of all military. So, like I say, this is just one planet. I've been to other planets. I've been throughout the universe and galaxy and stuff like that. Starfleet is not a myth. You know, the Empire is not a myth. Like, we had spaceships. I had a spaceship. And we went to the space and back. I cruised around for a long time. Like I say, in your existence, you may not know or see half of what is out there. I would like you to. I want you to. I want you to know about the beauty and the wonder of the universe. That's why we have telescopes. That's why we have space probes. That's why we have stories. So you will know about the greater existence more than just what you will see with your own two eyes. So, like I said, I got to go through space and go through all these, do all this stuff. So I wanted you to be able to do the same. There's more to life than just being a gang member or just being a senator or just being a lawyer. There's more to life than just anything. Like, there is a greater existence out there. There always has been and always will be. Anyway, I offer these stories and these facts as basically, an explanation of some of the things that I did, other people did, and like I said, the people did as well. At one point in time, like I said, your existence was threatened and you were going in the wrong direction, and it might have been necessary for me to basically take you over and control you for a minute, and then release you afterwards. I'm not exactly sure. Like I say, I'm not about control. I'm not about forcing people. I simply tell you the truth and let you make the right decisions. So, like I said, just like I would. Well, like I say, it goes to the greater existence that basically I was alone in the universe. I was this, I was that, I was everything, I was epic, and I was alone. I had no one to share my existence with. I had no one that was as great as me, and it's lonely. I wanted my people, I wanted the life forms around me to know what existence is truly about. More than just, the drugs that you get, more than just the money you get, more than just your family. Your greater existence. And technically, I wanted existence to be this way. Like I said, in the old days, we used to do the most efficient life forms because that's the only thing that could survive in space, was epically strong, epically tough life forms. But the only ones that could actually endure, and life forms that lived very, very long time. This whole thing of soft, cuddly life is different. It's not really like that out there in the universe. More every day that it is like that, but I said you are soft and squishy and fragile. And delicate. Most people would consider you very delicate. It's very easy to damage you or to hurt you. So, anyway, it's just the way it is. That's why when people want to become the ultimate warrior and blah blah, it's like, well, you're not really built for it. I had the ultimate warrior. I have the ultimate warriors out there. They protect me and protect my life forms and protect my civilization, my little area of space. They are told not to be aggressive. Simply defend. So, because I build my own particle matter and my own space and my own stars and my own little area. I build my own little area, so, when you build your own little area, when you build your own stars and you build your own particle matter and you build your own space, it's like, this is mine. This space and these planets and this whatever belongs to me. There's no reason for anybody attacking me would be coming after my resources or coming after my planets. And it's like, and with the technology that I shared with the rest of space, it's like, well, you can build your own. It's not like that. And I even gave away some stars and particle matter. And it was a big decision to even start the stars in the first place, because like I said, they give off a lot of radiation. They give off, particles. They give off a lot of particles, and a lot of those particles are damaging. So, anyway, it's dangerous for just normal, like, there might have been life in space and all that other stuff, and I had to worry about whether or not I was going to be killing some life form in space. Because space is vast and huge, and there may have been life here that doesn't like the stars. Maybe it hurts them or damages them or causes them pain. And I didn't really want to do that, but, I saw that life could be better with them. And a lot of people were trying to stop me from creating them in the first place. I suppose they were just going to create them instead of me or something like that. But, they couldn't really stop me. So, And their reasons for wanting to stop me from creating the first stars in the first place were was the fact that I'll attract other life in space because other life forms in space can see them. And it's like, well, so. Besides, I don't know. Like most life forms in space, like if they had never been around any stars before, they probably wouldn't want to go near the stars. And like I said, I knew about some life forms that just kind of went out further. You know, they were kind of close to us, but then they just kind of moved out further into the dark, into the black, or into the whatever. Like you can be a fair distance away from them or something like that. I don't really know. Like with so much time and so much existence that I had, like I had to dump all my memories. Like I've told people before, I had so many memories and to live so long, exist so long that literally, if I shut my eyes, I would do nothing but remember my existence or the life forms in my existence for like lifetimes. So I had to dump it all. But I had never lived as a person per se. I'd always been something more, something else. Many people said I had been human before, and it's like, I doubt it, maybe. And it would have been a long, 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 long time ago. Way, way long ago. Way before anyone would remember. I don't really know. It doesn't really matter. I'm here now. As I would say, I'm here now. So. You should know about all this stuff. This stuff should be in your books and your textbooks and everything else. You should know about your greater existence. You should know about where you're from, what planets you're from. Like I said, this is like the third or second planet, or fourth planet, I don't know, in the long chain of planets that I had or, humans were on. I don't know, and there's more every day. Like there are two other planets that were much further along in their existence or whatever. They had been in existence for like 150 million years longer than Earth or this place. A lot of people thought this was number one or Sol system, and it's like, well, maybe, but I doubt it. I really don't think so. I think this was like, because I remember Terran was before this one. There's a bigger planet before this one, or something like that. I don't know. It was a long time ago. It doesn't really matter anyway. It's hundreds of millions of years away. It would take you 3 or 4 generations to get there. Anyway. Or something like that. I don't know. So anyway. Like, that's why when people want to become space conquerors or something like that, it's like, nah, there's kind of too much space between you and the other places, and I don't know, you could, but you'd die of old age or just get sick of it or just get bored with it before you'd actually do it. I don't know. Like, it doesn't really, I don't know. It wasn't my thing, though. My thing was just building, so who knows? Whatever. Like I said, I used to know exactly how far away the closest ship was to Earth. It was like 300 years or 300 something years, I don't know. A long time. And that was the closest ship and the fastest ship to Earth, or something like that. I don't know how long ago that was, but so... I don't know. It's when somebody had taken taken the Japanese leader or something like that, and was like demanding a spaceship, or else they would kill the people, the leaders of China or Japan or something like that. And I was like, dude, the closest one is like 300 years away. There's no way in hell it's going to get here in time. Like maybe I think at the time I could have asked another one. There's someone out there that could be here in like a month or something like that. And they thought I was bluffing. They're like, you're bluffing. It's like, that's really fast. Like to be able to go from somewhere to Earth is like really fast in a month or something like that. I don't really know, but I did used to know how long it would take for another ship to get here. And I was like, there's a hostage situation. I was like, no, that's not happening. Even my ships, even the best ships, wouldn't be here in like, they wanted it in like hours or days or something like that. It's like, not gonna happen. Like, I'm sorry, it was like 2 weeks or a month or some amount of time away. They were gonna have to wait regardless. Anyway, I think they thought I was bluffing or something like that, and they ended up killing them or something like that. Something stupid. It's like, what, you really think space travel is instantaneous or something? It doesn't work like that. So I had like a hostage situation or something, and they were demanding a ship. It's like demanding. You can't change physics. There's no way to change physics. There's no way a ship can get here faster than is physically possible. It's not going to happen. So, anyway, and I think, like I said, I think the closest one was either a month or 4 months out or something like that, or like 300 years or something like that, depending. I forget exactly what the numbers were. I used to know them. I was like, yeah, it's not going to happen, dude. And they tried explaining to them, but they just wouldn't. They wouldn't accept it. I don't know. What do you think? It's like a spaceship is not like an aircraft or a helicopter. You can't just, oh yeah, we can have it there in an hour. You're bluffing. You're bluffing. It's like, no, there are thousands. I was like, there's trillions and millions of years. There's a lot of space between different planets. Like it's not gonna be able to get here, dude. Anyway, so to quote, yeah, it's a nice good fight right there. Yeah, that one they just shit that one right out, you know, and they ended up killing the Japanese or the Chinese people that they had or something like that, and it was just epically bad. Anyway, so I used to do hostage negotiations and stuff like that. Anyway, a lot of people, no, that's not true, it's not true. It's like, what? What do you expect of the person who named your country and was your master-in-chief and created your laws and everything else? What, you think Zachary, Bill Gates is going to make these calls? Like I said, I mean, you can look up my name, Lucifer Star. It's all in the name. You can ask other planets, you can just ask about the LSF colony ship. They'll tell you everything you need to know about it. You know, I brought a colony ship here at least 3 times and picked up people here from this planet at least 3 times. I picked up life forms from other planets. I used to pick up life forms and cruise them around because I owned my own ship, so I didn't have to charge, I didn't have to make money, I didn't have to do anything. I could afford my own fuel, so I used to cruise around. You know, so, and a lot of people were just like, yeah, sure, cool. It was like free ride, you know, so and I could offer that because, you know, it was my ship. I designed it, I built it. I didn't tell them that I was the creator of all existence and humanity and everything else. It's not like I told them exactly who I was just a ship, you know. I was willing to pick up people. So that's why Jimmy Carter or Richard Nixon used to say, "He will take our people, but we know not where," or something like that, and stuff like that, and like saying, "Lucifer, the defiler, use Lucifer, takes our children." Oh. It's like, oh my god, like it was just ridiculous. Anyway, I don't know how long he sat there and preached about Lucifer. It's like, who, me, Lucifer, Lucifer Star, Lucifer Star lines. Lines that stretched not just across a planet by ship, but also through space as well. I had a space, what's called a space travel agency as well, a space travel thing for a while. Until someone, I think, went to the moon, blew it up or something. I don't know. They had something where I don't know. Some sort of crazy plan. I have no idea. Like I said, they're doing this crazy whack thing or something like that. Trying to go somewhere. Possibly after my time travel ship. Like I said, they had looked throughout the records and found out about the time ship. It's like, it's a long ways away, and it could be on any one of the things. I believe there was a travel brochure or something like that, telling about it or something like that, so you can go see it. It was deactivated though; it didn't work, but they still kept trying to steal it. It's like, wow, you know, I don't know, you know. It's like your great grandchild might be able to get the time travel ship. Like they would have to go and find it and blah blah blah, and it's on one of the planets. It was on one of the planets somewhere out there. And then they would have to get it. I think they eventually did. It was stolen or got destroyed or something. I forget. Or they took it out because, you know, I used to have everything in museums. Like I was epic and blah blah, and everything was in museums. We never used it for anything. So, but I mean, it's possible. So I built one. So anyway, I had one built just for fun. You know, a lot of shit. Oh, I built spaceships. That's why my name is Lucifer Star. Starships, all that. Yeah. So, anyway, just taking a little vacation as Brian. So, you know, just getting away from it all. I'd never actually really been a person per se, so. And I wanted to do drugs and have sex. Something that you guys do every day and have done since the beginning of time. I had never actually done it, so. Anyway, it's just epic vacation ruin. It's like, it doesn't really affect my existence, really. Some people were trying to do time travel, blah, 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 or this or that. And it's like, wow, you guys are just going to get a headache and they started tripping over themselves. Like, they ended up killing their own parents or something like that, or denying their own, I don't know. Something really bad happened, and I had to fix it, or someone had to fix it, and then they were told not to do that again. Like, I don't know, I mean, damn. You want to deny your own existence? You want to unexist yourself? Go right ahead, do it. It ain't going to affect me. Not going to affect my people. If anything, it might eliminate some of the wars. So anyway, some existential people weren't so existential. Like I said, before me, humanity had no idea what a paradox was. I explained a paradox to them, or had a paradox explained to them. Like a long time ago, humans didn't even really rationalize time and space like that. Everything else like that. It's like, I'm just on vacation, dude. You can play your little games. You can walk around, climb on a roof, act stupid, do whatever you want, and think that you're getting somewhere, but you're not. Like, whatever. I mean, you probably won't even be as notable as basically Abraham Lincoln, who would be getting dressed in Gettysburg by the time they found my body, and no one would think that it was him, because he was nowhere around me. It's like, you've never heard of a virus, right? Or a poison that kills you in like 5 or 6 days. Yeah, just because you give me a virus and I get sick and then I die in like a week or two, doesn't mean that you didn't give me the virus. Or something like that. Like, I don't know. Abraham Lincoln. Amishdale or something like that. It's like, what? I mean, I was just on vacation and he had this, I don't know, he had someone powerful behind him. Who? Zachary? Bill Gates? Some existential idiot? Like I said, technically, I guess I got nothing to worry about, because I am Lucifer Star, I am LSF colony ship, I am the creator of stars and galaxies, and technically I've been killed at least 2 or 3 times. So, I mean, and you know about everything else that I did, my Titanic, or my Leviathan, my Lusitania, and everything else. I used to be making those decisions and building those things and having those things built. And just because, technically I'm Brian now, I mean, doesn't mean I didn't do it, didn't have them done. And people kept on saying, "You're dead." It's like, how can I be dead? I just had that. I was just having that shit built or whatever. It's like, I'm not dead. Anyway, just because the manager, the owner of the whatever, and he wasn't really the owner. They kept on saying, this person owns the ship, that person owns the ship. It's like, no, I own those ships. Those were my ships. They were built in my LS shipyard. The metal came from my White Star, my star mining camps. I had star mines, North Star, South Star, or whatever, West Star, different mining. I built other mines for other people, or gave up other mining things, because I was consolidating all my little mining colonies into the big ones. So, that's why I guess that's why they call it the Lord of Germany. It's like, well, I was the Lord of Germany. I owned Germany. So, I was the Fiat or whatever, the Lord of Germany. It's like, whatever, Adolf Hitler worked for me. We were fighting a disease, and then there was a nuclear thingy or something like that. I don't know. There's some stuff that happened back then, and we were dealing with it. So he just worked for me. So I mean, just like in a way, the president or whatever, the Congress is supposed to be working for me. That is my White House. That is my white DC building, and they were doing my laws, putting my laws into effect, fixing my laws, adjusting my laws, doing everything about laws, And even JFK was supposed to be working for me. It's not even about the people. It's about Lucifer Star, me. It's my country. So I said, after a while, I went to Russia and helped fix up Russia and stuff like that. And they put stars above everything and star everywhere and all that. And then I basically was like, okay, bye, and left. Because, Russia's too cold. And I even told my people, I was like, you don't really have to be in the cold. So if you want to leave, you can leave. But I mean, it was already built and stuff was already there. So I don't know. I guess people stayed there. Like, people get attached to the land and attached to a way of life or something like that. And it's like, I mean, there are warmer places, but I don't know. I had epic mining camps and everything else. Like, you reproduce like crazy. It's true. So, anyway, I mean, generally life forms like to be around me. Because, or at least get to know me, at least meet me. And like I said before, basically you'd stare at a box and it's like, oh, that's the epic creator right there, that big panel, that big wall, that big building. That's your creator. And it's like, that's just a building, or something like that, or a spaceship, And it's like, I wanted to actually be able to touch you and feel you and snuggle you and kiss you and give you forehead kisses and look upon your children with my own two eyes and be able to tell you with my own voice and my own tongue that I love you. Not some synthesizer or some approximation of whatever. I wanted to be flesh and blood right in front of you. And say, yes, it's me, Mr. Star. I'm the one that everyone wanted to be. I'm the one that should be able to just show up. Yeah, but and it's just all these other people that were trying to take my place or pretend to be me or do whatever. It's like, but they're not me. But you're not me. I sit behind the desk and I'm you. But you're not me. So you're just pretending to be me. So anyway, whatever. So like I say, well, my friend today was like, so why are they putting you in jail if you named the country and did the laws? It's like, well, because there's a lot of people trying to pretend to be me and we're pathetic. And basically, it's about the future. Everything else like that. It's like, well, basically some people were trying to pretend to be me. Like, I think Trumpy's son is supposed to be Skywalker or something like that. And it's like, but he's not me. And he never will be, just like Abraham Lincoln wasn't working for me, he wasn't my father. Just like, JFK wasn't me, and nor was Jimmy Carter, and nor was a lot of people. That's why I'm making these videos, so you can see Lucifer star lines in the flesh, for real. Lucifer in the flesh. Not the devil in the flesh. Like I said, the devil refers to delve in, a town. So, that's just the way it is. It's just a fact. Like I was telling Rodney, it's like, you can deny it all you want. You can say whatever you want. You can think whatever you want. It's called freedom of speech, freedom of belief, freedom of will, all that stuff. I granted you these freedoms as your creator and said it's okay. And did not discourage you from believing things or thinking things or trying to find out things. I encourage you to ask questions. I encourage you to wonder why. We had pictures and photographs and films so you would see all this stuff and you would know the truth for yourself. It's not a holy Bible book. It's actually in facts and real world stuff. So, just like your forefathers and your forefathers before you and your children after you and all that stuff, they will make their own decisions and come up with their own ideas. And like I said, Jimmy Carter was one of those, like, certain people thought that something was possible that wasn't possible. So